Welcome, this is Sergeant Rocker. This is the 2.3 PTR Season 4 bear build. We'll go over the build for you. We'll go over the skills, Chiani's Cube, and all sorts of fun stuff. Hello, I'm Sergeant Rocker, and this is the 2.3 PTR Season 4 bear build. It's a fun build. It's a very strong build. A lot of survivability as opposed to the Carnival build. We'll go over the what items you need. We'll go over the skill tree, the Chiani's Cube, and what gems, legendary gems, you need to use. And then we'll showcase it a little bit. There's I credit these Witch Doctor videos to JMac, my friend JMac, and Miss Mint. JMac is a good theory crafter on witch doctors. I go and watch his videos and watch his stream all the time, so make sure you watch them. Basically, you're starting off with the Helltooth set. You got the Helltooth mask, Helltooth chest, Helltooth pant, Helltooth boot, Helltooth shoulder, Helltooth glove. The Helltooth got changed in PTR for Season 4. The Wall of Death is a huge part of this. Also, they added this thing called necrosis to your enemies. It's some mythical thing that necrosis. What is necrosis? It goes out and hits enemies, and you take 50% reduced damage for 10 seconds. Your primary skills are affected by this necrosis, becoming slowed, taking 1500% weapons damage every second, and taking 20% increased damage from all sources for 10 seconds. It's a gigantic change from what the old Helltooth set was. Basically got erased and rebuilt. Also rebuilt for Season 4 was the Scrimshaw. Reduces the mana cost of Zombie Charger by X amount of percentage. The Scrimshaw used to be pointless. No one kept it, no one used it, everyone basically trashed it. Also added is a new bracer called Jerem's Bracers. Basically increasing your Wall of Death damage. It can be cast 3 times in 2 seconds before the cooldown begins, which just, somebody at Blizzard built this in all this in mind, right? And JMac put it together. Also added was the Belt of Transcendence. Some of Fetish Sycophant when you hit with a mana spender. So lots of new items to this build. So along with the Helltooth pieces, you're going to be using the Scrimshaw, and you're basically going to be using the Thing of the Deep. Basically, you want the Thing of the Deep for that 20-yard pickup radius of the health globes. It's going to help your survivability immensely. Of course, the Jerem's Bracer again. Focus and restraints are your items you're going to be using. On this one, you really don't need the attack speed. You need your crit damage, crit chance is what I would go for, but that's the best restraint I could get at the moment. And also, you're stacking Wall of Death damage. I got it on my shoulder bracer, and you can add it onto your offhand if you want to, but I rolled for more vitality instead. The legendary gems that I'm using is survivability out of 2 out of 3, Molten of the Gizzard Beast, the Esoteric Alteration, and the Bane of the Trap, which is used in pretty much every build. I'm stacking poison where I can. With the poison increase, I'm at almost 2.42 million damage. Life's around almost 600,000. toughness around 17 million. The Kiani's Cube, what we'll be using, walk over here to the Mr. Cube. There's different variations of what people are using, but for the most part, you're going to be using the Grin Reaper, Convention of Elements, and the Furnace. Trying to remember. I don't think it was the Wormwood. There was another, other than using the Furnace, there was something else. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was the Soon one. There was something else that somebody was using instead of the Furnace, but we won't talk about that since I can't remember it. But basically, the Furnace gives you damage versus elites. Now we'll showcase the build. These little guys here are dudes from my Templar. He's using these. I got the Nangle ring on him, so those are fallen lunatics. Okay, we'll go to Fields of Misery. Always a fun place to go. So basically, you're going to be hexing a lot and throwing down this wall of death. So you come in, hex, wall of death 3 times, set that up, it just burns. And then you throw out the bears, and the bears just crush everything. And you can see how that wall of death resets pretty dang fast and does a lot of damage. Try to get it to where, if we'll go over the skills here in a second. Here's the skills. I guess we gotta go to town. Damn it. We'll go to town, show the skills. The skills, basically, Wall of Death, Wall of Fire. Communing with spirits is nice if you just want to like use it as a controlling factor of the build. Fire, it does the most damage. It really hits hard. Other ones use is Surrounded by Death. Ring of Poison, maybe. Plague of Toads, Toad Infinity as your primary. Wall of Death, Firewall as your DK. Another DK is your Zombie Charger, Zombie Bear. There was, I've also used Pylon. Pylon gives you a little more accuracy with your bears, or with your, you know, your zombies. The Zombie Bears, some maps is really tough. You know, Act 3 maps, it's tough. Soul Harvest, Languish. Hex Jinx, huge, turn those things into piggies. Oink Oink, Spirit Walk Jaunt, passes, Confidence Ritual, Pierce the Veil, Gruesome Feast, Swampland Atonement. I also forgot that I'm using the Hellfire Amulet. This one is Spirit Vessel. So I've taken Spirit Vessel off here and put in, I believe I put in Swampland Atonement. So now I got the passive of Spirit Vessel. So we'll go back, showcase it a little more. You can Spirit Walk right into here. Lay down that wall. Jinx them, turn them into pigs. You know, send the bears out to just crush. Instead of Soul Harvest, I guess you could be using Paranado if you wanted to. But the Soul Harvest gives you an added stack of, you know, intelligence. You can kind of surround yourself with that wall of death, but it's if you put it right on it, right in this zone, they're really gonna burn a lot faster. You can stack it. Um, Say like like that, or you're surrounded, and then they come into while they come into the circle, and they just you know burn to all holy hell, or layer it, like that. So there's different ways to do it, but that is the PTR Season 4 bear build. This has been Sergeant Rocker, and we'll see you next time.
This has been an 80-second original production.